Mhm.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I was rushing. Be so proud of me here. I just turned this computer on all by myself.
Oh man, like a grown up.
Kind of.
What's your hat say?
Um, this dog will hunt, or
Uh,
that dog will hunt. Yeah,
that's a good one.
as me and my boss always say that. My buddy Jared, I work for my buddy Jared, but we say that to each other all the time, like talking about different jobs. If it'll go in, like yeah, that dog will hunt. So what's good?
Not much. Just at Ramapo today, so busy
Yeah,
out there and staying busy with work and just the usual.
yeah. How's
Yeah.
that all balancing out?
Right
You
now,
guys
pretty good.
are okay.
And it's like that thing. Like if you put spiritual things first, everything else kind of works out around it. That's kind of how
Yeah.
it's worked so far. Like we're able to just know what days we're going to be at Ramapo, and then work just kind of fills in between all those things.
Awesome.
So yeah, so it's going good,
Good.
and the site changes like every day. Like so, yeah.
That's really cool.
What's up, Darren?
What's up,
Darren,
fellas? How you doing? What's new,
good
guys?
brother. How are you?
Good.
What do you
Oh
got
man.
going over there?
Oh, just got home from the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, good man.
How did that go?
Actually went pretty well today. I started a new workout, and this is week 3 of my new workout, and I'm now doing deadlifts again for the first time in years.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes, and I'm gonna try not to hurt myself.
Yeah.
Where are you at with that?
So today my last set was 305, and I got 9. No,
Man,
so I got
geez,
9 clean.
it's an animal.
No wraps. I was holding it with just grip strength. I'm
Yeah.
not using. I'm trying to go as long as I can go before I have to start putting the little thing you wrap around the bar and grab.
Yeah.
So at this point, I had to go. I was overhand until till I hit 305, and then I had to alternate one hand.
Okay.
But
Man, you haven't done it in years? Ripped out 9?
well, this is my third week doing it. Yeah, but it had been years.
That's cool.
Man, I'm jealous of that.
I got my
Jumping. It's like going dun dun dun. It'll stop going up soon.
yeah. I hit 325, which is my best um, last week. And I only do like standard grip, and I don't use anything. Like if I can't do it with just like my standard grip, then I won't do it because I feel like that's how I'd get hurt. So,
Okay.
and I did 2.5 of those.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Good
But
man.
that's
So
It
no,
is
you won't go over under.
I've
Just
never tried it. And then our trainer was like, I can get you the wraps, or you can switch your hand grip. And then for me, I'm just like, if I can't just do it normal, I don't want to push it because then I'm going to work after. So it's like
yeah.
yeah.
if I start getting into higher weights where I have to try different tactics, then I feel like that's when I potentially could hurt myself. And so I'm just trying to like avoid, like, I'm not going for a number right now. So right now it's just building up basic strength. And then what I'm finding is it's not the weight as much as my hands not just being able to hold the weight. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's not like my back is strained by it or my legs. Like
Yeah.
my hands just give out, like they just can't hold more than that.
Yeah. That's what helped me. That's all the over under helped me with was
Oh,
just
okay.
grip strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
The only
offsetting it.
the only difference hurting yourself wise, the only new potential that when you switch to this is at the bottom you could tear a bicep if you were really sloppy.
Hmm.
Mm,
But other than that, it's not going to change anything else as far as that goes.
yeah.
But it and so the chances of you not being able to keep your arms straight like that for a period of time and not rip your bicep, I think you should be fine.
Yeah. I think the one thing um I'm still a little sloppy. So like the first one I did really clean. And then the second one, my like Chelsea filmed it, I'm like rounded in the back.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like before I would start doing more weight, I would have to like consistently not have like issues with my form.
Yeah.
because if like I try to do more when I'm still not quite there, like how I am naturally, then I feel like I could hurt myself just leaning over too much or rounding my back or something like that too.
Yeah. For
That
me,
makes sense.
like I did two set. I just did just for fun after I got my 305 out of the way. I was like put 315 on just so because next week I'll probably like be well. The next time I'm at this place, I'll be doing that. And 315 is when you get three plates.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I just want to try it. And so I just grabbed it and did two reps real quick and hung it back up. But I didn't pick that one straight off the floor either. I
Oh
grabbed it off the rack, took a couple steps back, did two reps. I hit the ground with the weight when I was doing them, but I picked it off. It was already like this far off the ground when I picked it off the rack, walked into position, then did my reps. So if I pick straight off the floor with that much weight, I bet my form would probably go whoop
yeah.
right off the cliff. 305, I did pick off the floor, but but that was in. I did one rep with 305 after I was done because I finished with it on the floor.
Yeah.
Pick it up after that and then put it back on the rack so I could. I was like, God, this is hard. I had already kind of done. I think I could have probably squeezed out 10 on that, but I was like, I just was. My heart rate was going. Boop, 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 boop,
Yeah.
boop,
Yeah,
boop, boop, boop.
that's that's pretty incredible, though.
Yeah. So I guess the big question is how's your sleep, Darren?
Yeah,
Well, I got the little machine. I have to take it off just so I can eventually go to sleep.
Oh,
I'll wear it for an hour, get tired of it, and if there's a night like I really need to sleep, I won't even try. I don't know. There's just so much. I just still haven't got that mess straightened out.
okay.
so it's just an ongoing thing you're still kind of figuring out and
Yeah,
yeah.
my normal sleep has been slightly better.
Oh, good. Hey, well, some improvement is improvement.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So it's more like everything hitting at once with spiritual stuff that's keeping
Yeah,
you up. And then you're
and work.
working.
Yeah, and work and all the normal stuff. So
Yeah.
plus Melissa's kind of been crazy busy, so
Yeah.
she's trying to become a Pilates instructor.
Nice.
Yeah.
She, it's been like
That's a
Monday.
big deal, huh?
Yeah. So then I've been having to like on the nights where she's doing all this other stuff. I was like, I'm doing my own meals, doing my
Yeah.
own whatever's, you know. But
Yeah.
still got to go to the meetings. You got field surf. You got all the things. So just I've had a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Feels like sometimes coming out of winter, spring gets kind of crazy, and when everything's at once, it can get a little rough.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you got more than we. At first, it sounded like we had a similar schedule. This week we have assembly, and then uh, of course Memorial. And then last week we had, because of assembly, we had special talk last week, and then Tronda Auxiliary March in April, which I thought, 15 hours. I thought, oh yeah, let's walk in the park. Well, on the 1st of March, my pickup truck got stolen again.
oh,
No.
uh, on Saturday morning,
No.
this
which is
is like how our pod started. Was you coming off of your truck getting stolen, and now
so
Did you ever
happened again.
did you ever get the first one back?
I got the first one back, and it was relatively unscathed because they stole my truck to steal a trailer, which they took to a Home Depot and knocked off a Home Depot. And so then, and then I don't know, I think they intercepted him before it all got passed off because they caught him or they found the truck with a trailer full of tools.
Wow.
So they didn't beat my truck up. So we just had some minor stuff, and then it became evident that our guy forgot to put the kill switch in when he when he was doing doing all the mods and putting it back together for us, because we woke up that Saturday morning and it walked away again on us.
same truck. Oh, the same truck.
Same truck,
Oh my
gone.
God.
Right out in front of the house.
The
Tools and
same truck
all.
twice. This truck was like
Uh,
Target Central.
oh man.
From your
So
driveway, like from your house?
yeah, just right in front of the house. And I mean, it's not like a high class neighborhood, but it's a pretty, it's decent enough neighborhood, safe enough neighborhood. But
Yeah.
I guess those diesel trucks they look for, so they got it. And then this time, they did find it on day 20.
Oh my God.
You haven't had your
Yeah,
truck for 20 days?
yeah. So they found it, and no motor, no transmission, stripped the lift, stripped the wheels and tires, put new wheels and tires, but all spares. Took the
How
front
about it?
seats,
How about
ripped
it
out
looks
the dash,
ridiculous without spares?
ripped out the dash, took the cat, took the radiator, um, and then they put their own like tow dolly, hooked up their own tow dolly to it, drug it out to the street and dumped it, and that's when
So they
that's
basically took your truck and stripped it.
yeah. Proper stripped it. I mean, they took
Yeah,
everything.
there was nothing left.
Nothing. No.
Do you have
Holy cow.
insurance on it? Like, are you covered?
Yeah. Yeah. We have full coverage. So we just got the settlement actually like overnight. And I think they're as fair as they could be. Um, I won't be able to get like the same truck, but they're as fair as could be. So
And you have to
yeah,
get new tools too? Or did they
I
have
did. Yeah, I got all my tools. Fortunately, this glass gig, it's just a real specific set of tools.
yeah.
It's not like it's not like whole hogs and worm drives and a whole bunch of stuff like I would have had for plumbing or even carpentry. Like compressors and different guns, and I don't have any of that. It's just a
Yeah.
real specific set. But even just like a basic set of glass fitter, glazer tools, it still is $2,500 like that,
Wow.
like easy.
That's crazy, man.
So that started us off, and then but I mean, what were we gonna do? We still went out. We have meeting for service at the house, so we just, I mean, not like I was gonna go out and find it or something. So we just plugged along and figured, well, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So then the
Like
next Saturday, though, like, go
how
ahead.
how how did that having it stolen a second time, how did that mentally affect you?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, like,
Because
you told us,
like
oh,
what does that do to your psyche when this is
It's
like the second freaking time?
it you've defeated, but this is actually like the eighth time I've had a truck ripped off. So it's not brand new, but I don't know. You feel like, golly, I got a wife and two girls, and then you just think like people who will steal a guy's means of providing, that's a bad breed. So you lose a little faith in people.
Yeah.
It's a bummer, and uh, yeah, I guess it sounds cliche, but it feels like a violation. And then you're looking out the window all the time, like, I don't know, it's
yeah.
not that fun, but
Yeah. I
I
mean, it
feel like
has
it
to
does give me a
happen.
little bit of Long Beach cred, though. So
Do you feel like
maybe.
you dealt with it?
I'm glad you can laugh at it because that's I when people steal, it is so hard for me because
Yeah.
it offends your natural sense of justice.
Yes.
You just want them to get caught and go to jail so bad.
Hmm.
Do you want them to get caught or do you want to catch them?
Uh, yeah.
How do you feel like you did this time versus the last time? Because like the first time we did this pod, it was like coming off of that year where it happened,
The Sparrow. I think I did a lot better.
and you felt like you were kind of cracking a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
now it's happened a little over a year later. Do you feel like so yeah, you said it, but like you feel like you handled it a little bit better or
I think so. I
in
think I did.
strides?
I think I'm mentally, and I think I'm in a better place. I don't know. You ask Jess, she might tell you a truer story, but I think I did okay. I feel like I was just able to roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if
Computer
it's
had
like,
me
and
losing
Jess,
it.
welcome to the show, Jess. And then she comes
Yeah,
on.
yeah. And then we're gonna ask guess how you really did.
Very softly walks around me.
Oh man,
Oh
that
man.
stinks, man. I just like yeah, I think this the theft and being on your property, like it just triggers all the like things that make it hard to just keep the right mind frame.
Yeah.
So,
When when people steal here in West Virginia, obviously people steal everywhere, but it's just so much less common here. And like I've had a skid steer stolen from work twice. I got it back both times and got to send people to jail. And like,
Really?
yeah, like you know, it's just one of the like we just put an ad out on the one we put an ad out on the radio for any information leading to, and people called and said, I saw this truck, haul it out, blah 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 blah. We googled that truck, found where they went, drove to their place, found the skid steer, got our skid steer back. Turns out somebody else had stolen it and then sold it to this guy, and and
mm.
the police came and handled all the stuff, and then another one, I had the privilege of making sure he went to jail. Uh, I figured out who had it, and we waited. It took a year because we did all the legwork ourselves. I just don't take this stuff well, and if I can make you go to jail for it, I will make you go to jail. So I waited. He showed up on
Good.
his. It took a year, and we caught him with it on a job site when he'd
He was using
vandalized
it
the
for
serial
work.
number. Yeah, it stayed in the region ish, and then he got a job back close to us, and towed it back here from wherever he was hiding it, and we kind of thought it was him, so we were watching him catch him with it on a job with the sheriff in tow.
Oh.
And because we made a police report, and so the sheriff's like, "Yep, that matches our police report. I guess this somebody's going to jail today." And he
Good. Uh,
showed up for court and everything. We're like, "Yeah, we think you should definitely throw the book at this guy. Do it."
how did you know it was him? Or was he someone who had rented from you guys before?
Yes,
Okay.
he'd rented from us a good bit, and I saw him. We got cameras now, and we got a lot better camera situation than we used to. But he managed to avoid a couple of the cameras. But I knew he'd been there one time because I saw him with something of ours. I was like, "You don't have a ticket on that. That means he come at night and got that thing, and he returned it." And I'm like, so I started watching him, and I was like, "Okay, you're not." So we put gates up and fenced everything,
Yeah.
and now when somebody does something like that, like you know, gates and fence, they only keep a honest man out, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
if they're stealing a skid steer or stealing an excavator, they'll come in there, they'll jump the fence, get in there, get the excavator started, then use the fence to or use the excavator to tear the fence down and drive it out. I mean,
Yeah.
but it keeps them there long enough that hopefully one of the state police drives by. There's a state police barracks right down the street from us. And all they need to do is drive by and see that nonsense going on, and then somebody goes to jail, and I'm happy again.
I
Yeah.
feel like when you lose a skid steer, you can just go to the local bar and be like, "Who stole it?" And they'd be like, "Dave." And you just go to Dave's house, and he's like, "Ah, sorry."
Sorry, Dave. That guy did call, and he's like, "I'm really sorry I took that." Blah, blah,
Oh
blah.
man,
Yeah, not just not, but you're
it's
about to be.
it's crazy how bold people are. Our brother-in-law and Chelsea's sister, they did like a really nice cobblestone road to their house, and it's not like it's off the beaten path, but it's like a nice area. And I think it was like a contractor that wanted to like get a sample of the cobblestone to see if it would work on a job of his. What's that? Oh, he's a landscaper. Was he the one that did it? No, it was a different landscaper, but he wanted like a sample of this cobblestone road. And so he took a few. And then like one day Chelsea's sister saw him and he was just backed up and was like loading them up. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, you said I could take a sample." But he was just doing a job. and just taking their extra from their house. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, why would you think that's okay? Like it's like infuriating, especially when it's like other guys in the trades just
Mhm.
taking from like taking advantage of homeowners is just as bad sometimes because it's like I don't know. I can't stand all that. Like,
Yeah, it's frustrating
yeah.
to see something like as when you, especially when you catch them in the act. You're like, "What are you doing, man? You know, you said I could do that. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
You took what you were allowed to have at that when you were here. You took your little sample. Now you're just stealing."
But you're
Mhm.
on their property and like just taking their stuff and then
Yeah,
being like, "What? No, you said I it." There's so many levels of just irritation and violation to that kind of stuff. That's hard.
yeah.
But especially like with Sean, like your truck, like how you make your living, like how you work. It's like a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah. And then well, really, actually, it's my girls who've had the hardest time because so Broad has a little pickup truck, and so I just borrow her truck, and she's kind enough to not even bat an eye, like with no hesitation. She's just like, "Of course, take my
Mm.
truck." So my daily routine just keeps going. But Jess is now she's out of car because Broad works away from the home, away from home. So then she takes Jess's car, and then Jess has to figure out how to get Frank to school, and she's trying to get her hours. You know, she's trying to still pioneer and without a car, and it gets real tricky and creative, and then we're leaning on folks, and she has some really good friends that we have some friends that have kids in the same school and they're pioneer partners, so it works out. But I mean, what if we didn't have that?
Yeah.
It'd be hard. And she's been grounded for a month already now. So
Yeah.
just trying to just
Uh,
I don't know. It's a hassle.
Yeah.
are you gonna get a truck kind of similar to what you had?
Well, I don't think our settlement will quite get me back into another Super Duty.
Is that what
But
you had? You had a Ford?
yeah, yeah. But I think what I'm looking at is those Tundras. You can get a Tundra that's a few years old with real low miles, and they're way less expensive than a Super Duty.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why not?
um, yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at now.
Yeah.
That's cool. Those
It's
Tundras are
actually-
good trucks.
You hear? Yeah, I meant to call my buddy. I tried to call Shockey. You remember he's Shockman. Shockey drives a Tundra, and I was going to ask him if there's those diesel trucks, that Power Stroke. I kind of know because I had all the problems. I kind of know what problems to ask about, or what to look
Yeah.
for. But with the Tundra, I don't know if there's anything I should be looking for specifically. So I got
They
to do
only,
just a little bit of
depending on the
recon.
Like
generation, that six cylinder, they're doing some recalls on them.
Oh
doing
yeah,
what?
No,
that.
The Tundra's they found a bunch of metal floating around in the engines on the newer ones.
Oh really?
Yeah,
And
it's
is
from
that the five? What is it? It's a five. They do a 4.7 and a 5.4, right?
uh yes, they're
One's a
doing
smaller V8.
turbocharged ones now. There's a few other ones now because there's some turbocharged ones and stuff. But
Okay.
the they're recalling it, so they're going to take care of it. And Toyota's usually decent about that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but and some of them they're swapping engines.
Oh really?
Yeah, but it's on fairly new stuff.
Okay. Yeah, the ones I'm looking at are a few years older, but you can find them. It's like kind of them. A lot of them are like an old man's truck.
Yeah.
Like these old guys get them and then don't drive them very much, and it's kind of as far
Are
as
they
good.
are they less common? Like, are they cheaper than like a Tacoma?
Yeah,
Because I feel like Tacomas are the smaller version, but those are like super hard to find and kind of expensive. And
yeah, they're super expensive. High miles, kids are selling them way up into the 200s, and they're
yeah,
still selling them for like
yeah,
24,000. They're expensive. And the Tundra is the bigger truck, and I think they have like a nicer package.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, you're
but
talking about the Tacoma. I froze
but
for a
the
second. Sorry.
Oh.
I
Oh,
agree. I agree with you. I can't get on board with the Tacoma when the Tundra's the better. Like you could do more stuff. It will do more
mhm.
work and it'll be more comfortable.
Yeah.
And the Tacoma's like two or three of the guys at work got Tacomas. They all love their Tacomas and stuff, but man, they got this truck got 300,000 miles on it, and they just gave 15 grand for it, and it's not worth. It's like it's not going to last.
But
Yeah.
if you're on the other side of that, you're like, I can get a Tacoma and get it to 300,000 miles and still sell it for 15 grand. Like makes
Yeah.
sense, but it's like, but yeah, I feel like as far as functionality and like what you would personally want, I feel like the Tundra would be like the better setup.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's how I feel. I like, and even doing the work that I do, I like having a bigger bed. Um, myself, the guys, we got a couple guys at the shop that drive Tacomas. They love them, and I mean they're slick little trucks,
Yeah.
and they don't seem to mind working out of a small bed. But I like to have a little more room. And it's funny, I like having a little more room in the cab too. I'm just, I got short little legs and everything. I can, but I still like having a little more room in the cab.
yeah. The half ton truck is a lot more comfortable ride. Also, I tow stuff, so a Tundra can really tow, but the Tacoma can't tow anything.
Yeah.
So that's why we got the new Ranger because
Oh,
the um because all the trucks that we looked at, there was like the low range that did like 4,500 pounds, and then you get to the F-150 and the 4,500 or whatever Ram, and they do like 10,000. Ford was the only one that had the Ranger at 7,500, so we could tow more of
really?
that. But for what I do, like I'm in the city a lot,
Hmm.
or I'll do like city jobs, and a big truck is really hard to get into like spots. So it's been really like we didn't buy it for that, but to have the Ranger, I still tow a lot if I need to, but I don't tow much. But it's been like the most functional truck for what I need because it's a little smaller. But it has like it's a twin turbo, like it's got some get up, and I've been like it's like my second or third Ranger, but I really like the that like size truck for what I do.
I've actually heard great things about all those new Rangers.
Yeah, I feel like it's like everywhere I go, people will be like, "Where'd you get that?" Or like, "I've been looking for one of those." Like they're not.
It's a good looking truck too.
Yeah. So mine's a 2020 and it had 12,000 miles on it. So it was like a lease that like
That's like a
the
brand new
person
car.
never drove. So even now it's 5 years old and it's only got like 45,000 miles on it. So
Nice. Jeez.
yeah, it's been a great ad.
Like, but you were talking about though trying to move a big truck around in the city. I've
Yeah.
had saying those blues. Like if I get a job in LA or in Beverly Hills and trying to put that
Yeah.
trying to put that big truck anywhere, it's like a joke.
Yeah.
I do see the downside of that for sure.
Yeah. I have to go to the like Greenwich Village next week or the week after. And anytime I go to the city, it's just like I need to be able to fit into like a normal spot because it's just tight in the city and it can get really tough. So,
Yeah.
oh, I had a question. How does it feel to be at the age where your daughter's getting married?
It's wild, man. It's wild. uh, Emotional. I was going to say oddly emotional, but probably not that odd. Yeah, but it's happy. I'm like we're happy for her, and we like him a lot, and it's exciting, and it's the girls are doing a lot of planning. There's always something going on, figuring a lot of stuff out. But it's wild to think, man. I mean, immediately you just think like, golly, I can remember, when she was just tiny little thing and the funny stuff she'd say when she was first starting to walk and talk. And, you're just a little lady getting ready to get married. But but it's cool. I mean, we're proud of her. She's, you know, I don't know, as ready as they're gonna, as ready as she could be for now. I don't know, maybe not. I kept on telling her like, well, I'd like you to wait till you're 26, but not really realistic.
How old is she? 20?
20. Yeah. Yeah, she's 20.
Chelsea was gonna wait till she was 25 and she was 20.
Yeah.
She was gonna wait till 25, and then she met Jake.
And then she turned 40
Irresistible.
today. Turned 40 today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Who do?
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Atta girl.
Yeah.
Well, lucky
I
club.
think what I was thinking about was like we've been married for 20 years this year, and you think back to that much time, but having kids, it's like you have like a gauge, like we just have each other and we think back to stuff we've done. But when you have a child, it's like everything is attributed to an age of your child, and I don't know, just adds like another layer when they get to that point of marriage. It's like it puts everything into perspective differently, I would guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
When's your anniversary? What's the
Ours,
date? Yeah,
September 17th.
September 17th.
we just had our 21st like a week ago.
Nice.
Oh man.
We're
Oh, I
almost
saw some pictures. Yeah, I saw some
Yeah, you
pictures.
you guys went
Happy
out.
anniversary.
Yeah, we didn't do anything too crazy this year. 21,
Yeah.
maybe after 20, it's time for just, we'll do, after 20, we'll chill for 21.
I told him last week, I was like, let us know when you hit a real anniversary, like 25.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got 25 coming up next year.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think when you start getting into like the 20s of things, like 20 years of this, like getting married, like 20 years of being married, or you're like, oh, I've been in construction, and then you do the math, like I've been in construction for like 25 years or something. It's like, or anything that you do where it's that much time has gone by, you start to it reflect a little bit more. But then you also think about people that are older, like I don't feel we were talking about this today. It's like you'll be talking and people are like taking your word for more, like putting more weight in your words, and you're
Yeah.
just like, I'm an idiot. Like don't, but you're like, oh, I'm in my 40s. They're like listening to me like I have more knowledge or something, but you're like, oh no, I'm dumb. Like don't.
Yeah. That's me. Yeah. Yeah, I keep on thinking like, man, so I'm 48 now. I would have guessed that I'd know a lot more than I do. That I would have had some of this stuff figured out.
Yeah. Yeah, the lack of like figuring things out is kind of funny in your 40s, where you're like, I don't know that much, right? Like I have a little bit more grasp of things, but you're not like some wise sage or something.
Yeah.
You're still kind of an idiot.
I'm curious to talk to my dad because I can very clearly remember my dad when he was this age,
Yeah.
and I felt like he knew things. I felt like he knew a lot, by now. So I'm curious to talk to him and ask him like, were you still guessing about stuff or? But I guess he couldn't show with 7 kids. He couldn't really show like he didn't know. He had to at
Yeah, he
least put
had
on
to.
his
Yeah.
face.
There was 7 of you guys? That's a
Yeah,
lot.
too
I bet that
many.
was an action-packed household, man.
Yeah, my poor mom. I tell you, she used to actually say that that's why we can't have nice things. She was right.
How
Yeah,
many
we couldn't keep nothing nice.
how many of them were boys?
3 of us.
3 of you?
Yeah.
It was 3 boys in my house, no girls.
Oh, no girls. Three
Yeah,
boys.
so all
That's
our fighting was stuck to each other.
rowdy crowd.
So
We should have your brothers on. We should have Brian and Heath on. That'd
Yeah, that'd be fun.
be fun. We were just
Yeah.
talking about Heath because the autos were here last week.
Oh, nice.
Tyler and Christina.
Oh, he lives on their property, right? I think he rents a place from those guys.
Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, they're living in the mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we were just talking about Heath, but even Tyler, like he's like, I'm 50. And I was like, when you're looking at your friend, you're like, it's hard to think of them as 50 because it's like you're all still kind of young or you're all still kind of at this different place in your life. And then you think about like you said, like your parents at 50, you had this
Yeah.
different perception of what they are at, like what they're like at 50. But then you're just walking around the city with your friend and he's 50 and you're like, you just seem we're not supposed to be that old. Like we're not that old, but we're,
Yeah.
you know, it's just wild.
Mentally, it's like we all of us stop aging mentally and at like 20 or 18. We're still like that guy inside, just we have a lot more gray hair. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Or
Then
just
you
a
think of
lot
people
less
that are
hair.
like 70 and they probably still feel like they're 30 or something,
Yeah.
like they're sharp, but their body's breaking down. And like I haven't hit that feeling yet of like my body like breaking down at all. So you're like, what's that going to be like if we get to that point where your brain is just normal and functioning, but your
Yeah.
body's starting to like not be able to do what it used to do? And it's like, that would be weird. It would kind of make you, maybe that's why old people are weird.
Old people are. I was chatting with a bunch of my friends I grew up with because we were all sitting around a campfire. They were down my direction camping, and they're like, "Why is it that we all revert to behaving like adolescents when we all get together? Why does this happen?" Because we'd already been there for a couple hours and we're all like idiots now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, our collective IQ does just drop.
but
But it's like,
but you look forward to that so much.
yeah. But if you've hung
You
out
love it.
since you were 14 and then you're 50, it's like you're not like, oh, we're adults now. It's like, no, we're kids hanging out. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna do the same thing we did when we were 14. Like we're gonna get in the woods and find and bring some firecrackers or blow
Yeah.
something up or whatever. Like it's just your nature.
It's like the only difference is now my parents can't stop me from having a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's even better now.
But then you're like, oh, that's why they didn't want me to have a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, are you still loving your bike?
Yeah. So I sold my Harley yesterday, or
Oh,
yesterday, yeah, day before, and got my Triumph. I got my Triumph right as winter was starting, so I rode it like 2 or 3 times and barely did anything.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, it's getting nice out. I can get it out.
yeah.
We when I'm looking at what we got coming. We're gonna be just kind of mild. Doesn't get lower than mid 50s, but then doesn't really get much higher than mid 70s. But it's been kind of chilly. Seems like been
Like the most LA thing ever. Yeah, like mid 50s to mid 70s, about the same every day.
stays that way.
That dog will hunt.
That dog will hunt. Just look out the window. Yeah, that dog will hunt.
There are good things about California that are unrelated to your truck getting stolen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just have to focus on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I can,
Where you live, was it heavily affected by all those fires that they just had?
not our particular neighborhood, but real close, and we know people who were. Yeah, we just had not last week, but the week before, we had a brother came in, gave a talk on Sunday, and a whole bunch in their congregation just starting to move back in. Some of them lost their homes um, from both fires. The big Altadena one, and then the other one up in the Palisades. We know folks from both areas that, yeah, the degrees of separation on this one were real close,
yeah.
and it's sad because it's kind of uh, out of sight, out of mind. But they're still dealing with it. It's going to go for a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
just complete destruction for a lot of those folks.
So, like, is it just like locating people to other areas a lot because there's no housing, or
I think so. Yeah. But everyone says that, I mean, and that's not a surprise. It's just a testament, but everyone says they've been taken really good care of.
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That is good.
That's what's hard with like anything like that is immediately everyone cares a lot and then everyone forgets.
You just, yeah.
And then it's like human nature. It's not like a criticism. It's just like you just things move on and especially if it's like not in your sight line or affecting like directly someone you know, it's just like natural that you're gonna move on in
Hmm.
your brain to something else or another or there's something else that happens or just but then all those people are still affected.
Yeah.
I think we noticed that when we went down to Florida a couple of years ago for Hurricane Ian. We got down there 4 months after the storm, and you know what you're going down there for, but you don't, you know, your mentality is kind of like, oh, we're going to help some people with their roofs, and then you like go through Fort Myers and there's like a boat in the woods, and you're like, oh, it's still, or like there's stuff around you that you're like, oh yeah, they're still like getting out of this storm that hit in September and it's March,
Yeah.
and then you're working into the summer. So you're like, you're doing a roof for someone in June, when the storm hit them in September. And it's like, it takes a long time. And that's just a roof.
Yeah.
You lost your whole house. Like, that's not,
Mhm.
you know, something you're just gonna like fix even in a year.
Mhm.
I wonder how much of the stuff that got burnt out your direction will get rebuilt, like in the same places.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, now what it seems like a lot of folks are dealing with is all the toxins that when they can't, they're not able to just pull permits and clear the land and start building again. There's so much toxin that in everything, so they're really having a hard time.
Yeah.
That's
And then they had the mudslides because of all the rain.
Yeah, we had a couple of weeks of rain afterwards, and the mud made a mess. It seems like everyone was, for the most part, pretty good about thinking ahead on that, and like people cleared out, and there, I think most folks were pretty safe about that.
Yeah.
It
it's
seems
funny.
like,
Like
but
the rain comes and it can put the fires out and keep and help everything get under control. But because the rain came after the fire, it's burned all the brush and all the things that keep the dirt in place.
Yeah.
mhm.
And then it's just,
Yep.
well, at least they kind of had enough forethought on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying one of the weird things that they didn't foresee affecting was after we had all those rains. Of course, the Russians everything out to a lot of it was the Palisades and Malibu. That's on the ocean. But then when we had those rains, all the rivers ran out to the oceans, and it's showing up in the seals and the dolphins. Like they're either real lethargic or some of the seals are getting aggressive with people. Um, and so yeah, they're ingesting a bunch of the contamination too. So it's a mess.
Yeah. All the things you don't think about.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It is wild.
But
That's
Well,
crazy.
it was good catching up, guys.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, what's what are any updates on your goals for so my goal right now is I still want to lose. I want to be down to 230 by the end of April, and that would be like 10 pounds every 2 months for the year. So then, yeah, I started at 251. If I can get to 230, then I'd have 2 months to get to 220, 2 months to get to 210. So that's my goal so I was 238 yesterday morning when I weighed myself. So I have eight pounds to go to get to 230.
Dude, you're killing it.
Nice.
That's
It's
that's
been a lot of ups and downs, and February was rough. And just, I think like, and I'm not running because I'm just so over it being 42 degrees. Like,
yeah.
I just want it to be nice. But
Yeah.
I feel sort of on track and also not on track at all. Like anytime you get some motivation, it's just the weather just destroys you. I feel like at this point.
Is the lifting still going good?
Yeah, so we have a workout in the morning at 6 a.m. and so last week I hit 325 with the deads, and he's really helping me with form, not going to like doing 80% of what he knows I can do um, at times, but just getting the reps up and the comfortability with the weight up. So I am seeing higher numbers poundage wise, but it's not like we're just trying to go crazy every time. It's like get me more comfortable with the lower weights so that I can get into a higher weight. And then all of a sudden you do a higher weight and you realize like what he's seeing and what he's trying to do.
Yeah,
So that's
I
going
think
good.
no,
Friday
that's
Friday like weight days has gone well.
good.
Yeah, we like it.
That's,
They say one of the best things you can do is what he's doing, getting you comfortable. They say it's a beautiful day when you get comfortable in the bottom of a squat. If you
Yeah,
get to the bottom of a squat and it feels okay, you're like, ooh. And then
yeah,
then the weight starts going up easier and faster, and then you're getting deeper and all the things. It's kind of that's a nice day when you're like you get the bar down there and you get to the bottom of a squat and it's like, oh, that felt fine. Let's go.
yeah. Or like in a bench, like a number that normally I would kind of struggle with. I'll bring all the way down to my chest and let it sit there and then just push it right up and
really?
make like real like slow deliberate movements with a weight that used to be kind of hard. Now I can just kind of like I'll let it sit here all day and then I'll just push it, like that
Yeah, yeah, dude,
feels
those pause reps. That is,
yeah.
man. If you can own that, that's big progress.
Yeah. So like just seeing like progress that way. Um
That stuff's exciting. That'll keep you excited to get back in there.
yeah. But it's like 6 in the morning. So he'll be like all excited. He's like, "Are you excited?" And I'm like, I'm fine, whatever. I don't know. He's like, I think I'm more excited than you are.
6 in the morning.
Yeah. So,
It's 6 a.m. I'm like barely functioning.
so what about you, Dare Bear?
I'm trying this new workout. A friend of mine up in Kingwood, where I'm from, he opened himself a strongman gym,
Hmm.
and so he wrote a workout up for me, and so I just finished the first round of it. It's like a 3 week process, and it's kind of like what your guys doing with some percentages. They figure if you're this percentage of squat, you do this weight, this weight, this weight, this many reps each time, and then like on squat day, it's set of squats, set of pull ups, rest. Set of squats, set of pull ups, rest, and so you kind of superset some things, and then you got a bunch of accessory exercises after that, and then the next one is chest day, so flat bench, uh, and it does, and so you do that, and then the next one is deadlift day, which I did tonight. Um, so then the next week, the weights all change and the rep numbers all change. Instead of 5 5 5, you're doing 3 3 3 with higher
Oh,
weights,
okay.
and then, but on the third set, on the like, so on week one, when you get to the fifth rep of that weight, you're done. But on week two, when you get to that third rep, if you've got gas in the tank, it's to failure. So
Okay.
then you start gotta go for it, and then the next week it goes 5 3 1. So
Oh.
then what your one would be on week three, and once again, if you got more in the tank, you gotta go to failure. And so then you kind of like on that day, I'm trying this new thing, and my deadlift numbers. So by the third week, I was like the estimated weights I should be using were not even close. So I was supposed to do. I want to say he figured we are guessing because I don't do deadlifts, so we didn't know what my max would be and do the percentages off of. But by week three, they was figuring my one rep I'd be doing 275, and I knocked off nine with 305.
Yeah, that's
So
a
the
little
numbers
different.
are I'm enjoying this because my numbers on that are climbing, which are going to make my other numbers. Uh, my squat number kind of was pretty decent this week. I felt bench
Nice.
still a little bit down from where it was in January before I got ill in January and but that I'll get that back.
Yeah.
The other two movements are going up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting when you can see the progress. That's really cool.
Yeah, so we'll see how long this goes. So I'll start the whole process again. So back to week 1, but all the weights will be higher,
Okay.
and we'll see how it goes.
That's
I want
cool.
to see what a couple
Yeah,
months of this does.
yeah, I'd like to hear that progression. I have a buddy. It was the same buddy that introduced me to the idea of the 1,000 pound club. My buddy Ricky. I think he described a similar workout to what you just said, Darren, and he got gorilla strong. He's a ape.
Where are you at, Sean? Do you have like a goal right now or something that you're working towards or?
um, not as far as numbers, just trying to be more consistent. Which I was doing pretty good um, since the beginning of the year. Been pretty consistent, getting out to the garage 2 3 times, but I'm staying just pretty much staying really light. I still have that right knee never did heal. It hasn't healed up yet, and my right wrist has not healed up yet either. So I'm still taking it as far as weight goes, pretty lightweight, um, and just reps. And I'm just trying to push for a good pump in my workouts. Um, and I think as far as goals, I'm either trying to grow. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I want to grow out of all my suits before the wedding, or if I want to, or if I want to fit into my. Either way, I'm trying to work to a new suit for the wedding. Is what I'm at.
That is something that I just noticed about myself too with this new workout. Like some of my suit jackets are like having some issues.
I bet.
Like the my shirts are starting to look a little bit, it looks real
Yeah.
bad when they start to gap right here, your
Yeah.
buttons. It's pretty shady looking. I look kind of scrubby. I'm trying to get new dress clothes,
I'm
but
like the opposite where I'm like, oh, I could fit in this shirt again. I don't have it spreading apart anymore. And then I have like the next shirt where I'm like, if I keep going, I can get into this shirt too.
Yeah.
ooh,
Yep.
That's
See,
funny.
that's why you held on to all that stuff.
Early workout in the
Got to
morning.
work out. Okay. It's better to wrap it up.
Well,
you don't want to do anything that can affect your consistency.
Yeah.
yeah. This is about taking care of ourselves. So if we,
That's right.
hmm,
And consistency is one of the most important parts of this.
yeah, well, it's
Oh
good to
man.
talk to you guys and catch up. And it's going to be a busy spring and summer with weddings, and
Oh yeah.
um, we're going to Africa for a month. So we're planning right
Yeah.
now. So that's going to
Yeah,
be,
that's coming up now, huh?
yeah, August. But I feel like it's going to come up quick. And
Yeah.
um, so, yeah,
We're already into April. This year's flying.
no, it's wild.
It is flying.
Hopefully, Sean's truck doesn't get stolen again.
Man, if you get Brody's truck stolen, you're in trouble,
I
dude.
know. I know.
Take her truck. Take her truck.
Yeah, why
Was
you keep
that
taking mine?
was any part of you like, why'd you take my like her truck is there too? Like, what do you
They were parked next to each other.
Just steal yours. They're parked side by side. We'll take that one.
Nah, we're good. We'll take this one.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, sorry to hear that. That's
Yeah.
frustrating.
We're working through it. We're working through it. And by the next time I talk to you, I'll have a pickup new to me.
a
Good.
new to you pickup truck. Those are
New to
exciting.
me pickup truck. Yeah.
Well, what do you have a song or two you want to throw on the mix? I have a good one this week.
Throw it on there. Go for it.
Have you heard the Broody Brothers? There's a
Oh, is this the
song.
one you did you
Wait,
send
is
this
that
to
the one
me?
you sent?
Oh yeah, I sent it to you guys.
Which I'm glad you
listened
did
to it.
because I've heard that hook and I had avoided it. I didn't like um the chorus.
Yeah.
But then I listened to the song. It's a great song.
Yeah.
After you said it, I listened. I'm like, oh man, this is a great song. He's just calling everybody out.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I think like the first time like Aaron sent it to me and I was like, oh, this is good. But then like one day it came on and I was listening to the lyrics and I was like, oh, this is a really this is a really good song.
That's yeah. When you sent it, I listened to it. I'm like, oh, this is actually a great song.
Yeah. So it's the Broody Brothers. It's called Me More Cowboy Than You.
Yeah,
Super
I,
I
good.
like
I
it.
went ahead and listened to like a few of their songs after you sent that to me because
Have
I got a
you
kick out of
how
that
is
one.
it? Like I haven't really listened to them much otherwise.
So I listened to about three or four, and they all kind of stay. They're kind of that vein,
Yeah.
and pretty good actually.
They're a Seattle group.
Are
I
they?
think really
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
okay.
Um
He's seen
yeah,
a
I
lot
want
more
to
stuff.
check them out some more, but I like that song. Me More Cowboy Than You.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I got one happily or happy ever after you. Make sure you get the clean version.
Okay. By who? Oh, he froze. I was like, are you leaving us in suspense?
Keeping us guessing.
Funny.
And
Did I lose?
there
I
it
lost you for a second.
Yeah, who was the artist?
The let's see, Mackenzie Porter and Jake Etheridge.
All right,
is.
cool.
I don't know how I randomly found this song, and I kind of like it. I haven't heard anything else by them, but I like that song. Make sure you get the clean version.
Will do. What about you, Sean?
I'd like to do two if I can.
Yeah,
Hank Williams Jr. All my rowdy friends have settled down.
I listened to that yesterday.
Such a did it make you cry?
No, it doesn't make me cry, but it's like I do think
Me
about all my
either.
rowdy friends and how we've all kind of settled down.
Me either.
Sean's over there crying, and I'm like, oh, I like this one.
And then I don't know if I've ever this people ask me who my favorite band is, and I think that's like a loaded question. It's always
Yeah.
who you're listening to at the time and who moves you, but consistent. I think my argument as far as rock and roll music always comes back to the Strokes.
Oh,
Um, I think the Strokes saved rock and roll from a bad era of music and opened the door for a lot of that kind of indie sound. I think like White Stripes and the Vines and the Hives and all those guys, the Killers, all those guys came after him. So it's the Strokes for me. But the song Chances
yeah.
is I like that one.
All right,
Well, I like all of them.
cool. So Chances by the Strokes, like that era added something to rock.
Yeah.
It was definitely like the Strokes and White Stripes.
Yeah. And that's what I had told. There was the bands that I mentioned. It was like a new sound of me, and it was the Strokes, White Stripes,
Yeah.
um,
That
the
first
Vines,
Strokes, the what?
the Vines,
Oh, the
which
Vines.
they didn't do much after that, and the Hives, which that band
Oh,
they're from Sweden or something.
Hives are from Sweden. Their first album is like so good.
It's so good. What is
The
it?
first Strokes album, I don't think there's a bad Vinny Vidi Vicious
Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah,
it's a great album.
yeah. But that first Strokes album doesn't have a bad song on it. Even
No.
the second one too, like with Reptilia and all that. That's a
Mhm.
great album.
Yeah, most of them. That's a band that like most of their albums. I know, and I'm so terrible about even remembering song titles or anything.
Yeah,
I could listen to album after album after album,
yeah.
and they're just all good to me.
A band from that era that doesn't get not that it doesn't get I think they play arenas now, but I think Queens of the Stone Age are like one of the coolest
Yeah.
rock bands that kind of slide under the radar for such a big band.
Hmm.
But I think there was like a lot of bands at that era that didn't really they either got big but not like recognized for what they did to kind of keep music.
Uh, didn't Mark Lanigan before he passed away? Didn't Mark Lanigan end up with Queens of the Stone Age?
Yeah, it was
And
like Mark Lanigan,
and I think Barrett
gosh,
drums over there too, right?
Gabe Grohl was the drummer for like the big album, Songs for the Deaf or whatever.
Hmm.
But the albums afterwards, even the album that came out last year, is really good. and now they've got like a really tight band. So they'd be fun to see now. But yeah.
And then Brody Armstrong, didn't Brody end up marrying the lead singer over there too?
Yeah, she was married to the lead singer of Rancid, and then she
Yeah.
ran off with the lead singer to Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
And then now I think they're divorced too. So
Oh, okay. It was funny. That's who our Brody was named after. Not named after, but that's where we got the idea.
was Brody?
And yeah. And so it's funny. She was, when we told her, she was the little girl, very much into her Disney princess stage.
Yeah.
I don't know why we decided to show her, like, hey, this is who you're named after. And it's Brody Armstrong, like full mohawk, spiked
Yeah.
mohawk and black makeup. And she's just like,
I remember me and Chelsea were dating or just and I was like, I have a thing for this girl. It was Brody, and they're like, she's got like this smeared black eyeliner with mohawk, and they're like, what?
Oh, that's awesome.
Funny.
That's still City of Angels. That's one of the greatest songs.
That yeah, that's a
Time.
good album. City of Angels, and there's a song Seneca Falls on that album. That's really good too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll have to look that one up.
it's a good album. Well, cool guys.
All right, get some
Good
rest.
to see you. I'm gonna rest. Be ready
Knock
for
it out in the
workout.
morning, brother.
Yep, I'll send you the results.
See you guys.
You guys talk soon.